Have you noticed something strange lately? You walk into a store with $100 and somehow it disappears almost instantly. You grab a few groceries, maybe some gas, maybe a couple basic items, and suddenly your money is gone. No shopping spree, no luxury purchases, just normal, everyday life, yet your wallet feels empty. $100 used to feel like real money. Now it feels tiny, like 20 bucks. And it's not just you, everyone feels it. So what happened? Did everything really get that expensive, or is something bigger happening behind the scenes? Because today, we're breaking down exactly why your money feels smaller, where it's going, and what you can do about it. Try this quick test. Think back 10 years. What could $100 buy you back then? Probably a full cart of groceries, maybe dinner for two, a tank of gas, even a few small bills paid. It felt like solid money. Now, try that same test today. That same $100 barely fills half a cart. Gas eats most of it. A simple dinner wipes it out. Nothing fancy, just basics. It feels like your money shrank overnight. But your paycheck didn't double, your bank account number didn't change, so why does everything feel harder to afford? The truth is simple. Prices didn't just rise a little, they exploded. And they've been climbing faster than most people realize. You've probably heard the word inflation 1,000 times, but most people don't actually know what it means. Here's the simplest explanation possible. Inflation means your money buys less than it used to. That's it. If bread used to cost $2 and now costs $4, your dollar just lost half its power. You didn't lose money directly, it just became weaker, like your dollar aged and shrank. So even if your paycheck stays the same, your lifestyle quietly gets smaller. You work just as hard, maybe even harder, but you can afford less. That's inflation slowly stealing your purchasing power every single day. The scary part about inflation is that it doesn't hit all at once. It's slow, quiet, almost invisible. Prices creep up little by little, a few cents here, a dollar there. You barely notice. But over years, those small increases stack up massively. It's like a tiny leak in your wallet. At first, it seems harmless, but after months or years, you realize half your money is gone. That's exactly how inflation works. It doesn't shock you overnight. It drains you slowly until one day you suddenly feel broke and can't explain why. Let's talk groceries, because this is where most people feel it first. Food prices have skyrocketed. Eggs doubled, meat jumped, milk, cereal, vegetables, everything costs more. Families that used to spend $150 a week are now spending $250 or even $300 for the same exact food. Same brands, same cart, bigger bill. Nothing changed except the price. So every week you're losing more money just trying to eat. And food isn't optional. You can't cut it out, which makes inflation feel even more brutal. Now let's talk about rent. This one hurts the most. Rent increases have been insane. In many cities, they jumped 20, 30, even 50%. Imagine your rent going from $1,000 to $1,500 almost overnight. That's not normal inflation, that's financial suffocation. Housing eats the biggest chunk of your paycheck, so when rent jumps, everything else collapses. Savings disappear, investments stop, stress skyrockets, and suddenly your money never feels enough no matter how hard you work. Gas is another silent killer. Every time gas prices rise, everything else rises too. Why? Because trucks deliver everything. Food, clothes, electronics, furniture, all of it depends on fuel. When transportation costs go up, companies pass that cost to you. So even if you don't drive much, you still pay for gas indirectly through higher prices everywhere else. It's like a hidden tax on everything you buy. That's why one small jump at the pump ends up costing you hundreds more each month without you even noticing. Here's a sneaky trick companies use called shrinkflation. Instead of raising the price, they shrink the product. Same price, less inside. Chip bags smaller, cereal boxes thinner, toilet paper rolls shorter. You think you're paying the same, but you're actually getting less, so you run out faster and buy more often. It's inflation disguised, and most people don't even notice it happening. But over time, you end up spending way more money for the same amount of stuff. So how did things get this bad? It didn't happen randomly. A few years ago, governments started printing massive amounts of money, trillions of dollars, stimulus checks, relief programs, bailouts, money everywhere. It felt helpful at first, but printing money has consequences. When you create more dollars out of thin air, each dollar becomes worth less. Just like printing too many tickets to a concert makes each ticket less special. More supply means lower value, and that's exactly what happened to your money. Imagine there are 10 pizzas and 10 people. Everyone gets a slice. Now imagine there are still 10 pizzas but 50 people. Suddenly everyone competes for food. Prices go up. Same thing with money. When there are too many dollars chasing the same goods, prices explode. Nothing actually became better or bigger. There's just more money floating around. So companies raise prices because people technically have more cash, but that just makes everything more expensive, and your dollar quietly loses power. You might think, well, I got a raise, but here's the problem. Most raises are 2 or 3%. Inflation recently hit 7 or 8%. That means you're still losing money. Even though your paycheck is bigger, your buying power is smaller. It's like trying to swim upstream. You're moving, but you're still falling behind. And that's why so many people feel stuck, even when they're working harder than ever before. This is hitting the middle class the hardest. Rich people own assets that rise with inflation. Poor people often receive assistance, but the middle class, they rely on salaries, and salaries don't keep up, so they get squeezed from both sides. Bills rise, income lags, savings disappear. It feels like you're doing everything right, yet still losing. That's the quiet squeeze inflation creates. Inflation doesn't just hurt your wallet, it messes with your mind. You start blaming yourself. You think you're bad with money. You think you're failing. But the truth is, the system changed. The rules changed. Your dollar simply isn't what it used to be. So stop blaming yourself. This isn't just personal budgeting. It's a massive economic shift happening to everyone. So what can you actually do? First, don't hold too much cash. Cash loses value during inflation. Money sitting still is shrinking. Think of it like ice melting. If you leave it alone, it slowly disappears. So letting thousands sit idle in a checking account might feel safe, but it's actually losing power every year. Instead, invest in things that grow: stocks, businesses, skills, side income, assets that increase over time. Because while dollars lose value, assets often rise. This is how wealthy people protect themselves. They don't just save money, they grow it. And that's the key difference. Next, focus on increasing income. Cutting expenses only goes so far. There's a limit to how much you can save, but income has no limit. Learn skills, start a side hustle, try online work, because in an inflationary world, earning more beats saving more every time. Most importantly, think long term. Inflation isn't temporary, it's permanent. Prices rarely go back down, they only go up over time. So, if $100 feels like $20 today, now you know why. It's not laziness, it's not failure. Your money simply doesn't have the same power anymore. But once you understand the game, you can play smarter, you can adapt, and you can stay ahead while others stay confused. If this helps you see what's really happening to your money, subscribe to MacroEcho, because every week we break down the economy in simple terms so you stay prepared, not surprised. I'll see you in the next one.